Hello, all of you bold, beautiful, brilliant, and highly evolved souls. I'm Davina, and today I'm going to talk about seeing yourself in a balanced way. So, when we grow up with narcissistic parents, we end up usually going from extreme to extreme because that's how narcissists see their children. They're either good or bad, the devil or an angel, wonderful, terrible, the best, the worst. And so we go through these phases of being idealized and then devalued, and in the intermittent reinforcement as well. They're nice, they're seemingly nice to you, seemingly caring to you, and then the next minute there's an insult or they're criticizing you. And so this keeps us constantly trying to prove ourselves, constantly seeking that approval. And it never really comes. Well, it never comes. We're just always trying to feel like we're enough and trying to prove to our parents that we're enough. And so this is how, the shame develops. But on the other side of the shame too is this side of like, yeah, just on the one hand, shame is like feeling terrible, feeling a failure, feeling unworthy. And then on the other hand, it's kind of like, look what I can do. And we're trying to prove ourselves. Look how good I am at doing this. And I notice this voice too when I'm at work. And I'm realizing it is the flip side of shame. It seems almost like a confident voice, like, look how great I'm doing. But it's actually that little girl voice trying to show to her parents how strong I am, how smart I am, look at how capable I am. And it's this, sort of pushing and proving and performing. And so that also forces us into this, really imbalanced way of looking at ourselves, that we're either doing great or we're doing terribly, and and the other thing that narcissists do is they shame and guilt trip you, make you feel bad for having needs and for having boundaries. So this too they might tell you that you're weak, you're sensitive, you're needy, you're lazy, selfish, crazy, all those things. Or they might imply it if they don't say it directly through, dismissing your feelings. And this is very dehumanizing. And so rather than feeling like you're a human, regular human who has regular, reasonable, valid needs, you end up feeling like, yeah, like you are inadequate, like you are weak, like there is something fundamentally wrong with you for having these needs. Like, oh, I need empathy. Like that is, of course, a very absolutely necessary thing for human beings. And, narcissists can't give that to you. So they basically, will call you that, say you're too sensitive or whatever. And so again, we constantly feel like, there's something obviously wrong with us. And we get this sort of, again, this real kind of imbalance and we end up swinging to the other side and trying to prove how strong we are, prove that we're not lazy, prove that we're always busy. Um, and yeah, I find that too, that kind of busyness, like, look how busy I am, look at how productive I am, that kind of voice goes in my head sometimes too. And it's hard to even just slow down and stop sometimes because of this kind of conditioning. And so, and also along with all of this is just the healing process itself. I feel, I've noticed, how much shame there was along with this healing process. It's still there, but it's less than it used to be, because of a ton of grieving. And so I don't feel so much shame about the things that I can't do. I see myself now as I have a mental disability. And this morning I was actually writing a list out of things that I can't do. There are things that I can't do because, it'll throw me off balance. It'll throw me in a flashback. I'll be overly triggered or I'll be overwhelmed. And just things I can't handle or things I can't do, physically. So physically, mentally, and emotionally, we have limits as human beings and also as people who are on a deep and intensive healing process. It's extremely difficult. It takes a lot of energy, a lot of effort, tons and tons. I'm sure you know how hard this is. And so we don't have to prove that we're like other people who are not healing, and that's fine. That's where they are, right? I used to be there, like just going through my day, having all those addictions to keep all the feelings repressed. And that's a legitimate way of doing things. And eventually everyone, I think, will wake up. But anyway, my point is that we also have special needs as people who are healing. And so it's okay to see yourself as strong, as capable, as valuable, and as having limits and as having weaknesses and shortcomings. To see this kind of it's more of a humility. And I'm a valuable person and I have weaknesses. It's that kind of balance, rather than the back and forth from the shame to trying to prove ourselves or seeing ourselves as better than others. That can come too. So and then we don't have to prove ourselves. We don't have to compare ourselves to others either. We are unique and different, and everyone is, has different needs at different times in their lives. And we're okay as we are right now. And it's okay to have needs. It's okay to have shortcomings. It's okay that you can't do it all and you can't be perfect, can't be a 10 in everything. That's another thing that I've done is I made a list of qualities that I have as a nanny and kind of rated them as like, my 6 in this and a 7 in this and a 9 in this or whatever, to see that, like I don't have to be a 10 in everything, because that's what narcissists kind of brainwash you into, to thinking that you have to be a 10, except you never get to the 10, because once you get to the 10, they make it an 11. And so you're never there. You just never get to that. They're always moving those goalposts. And you can never please them enough. You can never do enough. You can never win their love. It's impossible. So yeah, I just wanted to share that and help you understand that, that you can be both, that it's, you can, I also watched a Jay Reed video on this as well. You might want to check that out. I think he called it being fallible and valuable. And he also has his take on this subject. So I hope this was in some way hopeful for you today, and just know that you are absolutely enough, all of you. And wishing you many, many blessings on your journey of healing and awakening. And I'm Davina at Boldness Blooming. Thanks for watching.